Hi, it's Trevor Leggett. Welcome to the Leggett Podcast. Right, hi Ben. Ben's with me today. Ben is in charge of partnerships at Leggett 𝗵𝗵𝗫 and also looks after our business intermediary service. Ben, nice to see you.
Hiya, nice to see you.
Right, so we'll just have a chat today about what is a business intermediary for Leggett and how that helps the Match on Commercial.
Absolutely.
And what the role involves and how it works, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. So a business intermediary is basically the middleman between our agents and potential buyers and vendors.
Yeah.
So that our agents can go and see them and sign them up, sign the contract up and basically use them to get buyer and vendor leads. And basically it's people that have, they're using their own network to get us more clients. That's the base of it.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, especially the importance of it this year has been quite important because obviously the lack of stock after COVID was quite critical. And, you know, cold calling for, you know, the traditionally, I mean, obviously there's a large number of clients that come to Leggett anyway through our own marketing, and clients that have dealt with us in the past come back to us. But getting new instructions from people in areas where they cover huge areas. I mean, some of our agents are covering areas that cover, 30 square kilometres, 40 square kilometres at least.
But the thing is also our agents, they haven't, you know, they do a lot already. So it's good for them to have people working for them to an extent.
Well, of course, I used to do this years ago anyway. I mean, we used to just literally go around and say, I'd turn up and somebody had said to me, oh, I know.
A bottle of wine.
No, there's a house for sale.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'd pick up a bottle of pastis or something, drop it around their house.
50 quid.
Or a few bob, but normally a box of chocolates, bunch of flowers,
and that still happens to an extent.
But the thing is, obviously, the value of that now is far greater than a bottle of pastis, and at least you don't have to sit there and drink it with them, because turning up, a polite thing to do would be to turn up with your bottle of pastis and then sort of have a drink with them. And
well, you can do both now if you want nowadays.
Yeah, but it's not as easy because you used to be able to drink and drive, so you would stop it.
Yeah, we don't recommend that.
No, but I mean, it's moved on.
Absolutely.
And I think now you offer a contract to anybody that wants to be an apporteur de fer. So anyone can be a referring agent.
Anyone can be an apporteur for us. It can be for your business. It can be just for you as a person. So as a particulier, as an individual person, as the English would say.
Yeah.
What's really interesting is that on average, we pay €1,000 when the deal goes through.
So the average commission on a deal is about £1,000
for the apporteurs, yes. So obviously we don't pay them just for the leads. That'll be too good. But we pay them if they give us a lead, and that person ends up buying or selling a property. They'll get their commission, which is 5% of our commission, which comes about to £1,000.
Okay, and so last year that was it represented quite a chunk of business. It was about 7 or 8% of the business.
It was 1.7 million last year.
1.7 million generated. That's incredible. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So we've had a bit of a change in that heart recently, where we've decided to open up the apporteur de fer network, basically, because we had obviously listing agents and we've got selling agents, and some of the agents are better at one job than the other. But in order to help the agents that find it harder to get instructions, and this is a way to get through to the doors rather than...
Well, absolutely.
You know, because a lot of them are quite uncomfortable, aren't they? It seems, with cold calling. I mean, in my day, I used to just walk into a village and go knock on the door.
Cold calling isn't for everyone either.
No, it's not.
No, and it means that, you know, if the agents are very busy, they can have a little army of them, let's say 10 people, trying to find the buyers and sellers.
Looking for stuff.
Exactly. Well, our top agent, Sian, she's got 42.
42 apporteur de fer.
Yeah, so she's got 42 people bringing her buyers and sellers. So that's why she does so well.
You keep track of 42, I suppose you don't have to, do you? No.
Well, she has a little WhatsApp group, from what I understand, and she
she has a WhatsApp group from all that.
Exactly. So they go out for drinks together. It's like almost like a little community, you know, like a little club. Exactly.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny, isn't it? There's some teams have adopted it more than others, but then in some areas it's much easier to get instructions than others, so they can't see the value of it. I mean, in Paris, it's worked incredibly well. Yeah,
it has really well. Yeah, absolutely. We've even got contracts with not only people with banks as well, with different kinds of businesses. What's interesting is that, so we do it with businesses, but you'd think it'd be the local butcher or the boulanger, but we have companies ranging from the IT company to the golf club. Yeah. Anyone can become one, because everyone knows someone buying a property, or everyone knows someone who knows someone.
Yeah, yeah. And also that extra £1,000, I must admit, to a lot of people, it's a useful amount of money.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. You know, we think the average wage in France is probably just under £2,000. An extra £1,000's a lump of money.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah, so it's interesting. I mean, at the moment, mandates are up. I mean, mandates are instructions. I mean, the number of instructions we're taking currently are much higher. Now that's interesting because nationally they're low, so something's going right.
Oh, absolutely.
I think also the fact that a lot of vendors are looking to us because we have such a large percentage of international buyers, and the French market being quite quiet at the moment is working in our favour as well.
Yeah.
That with a combination of the intermediary network that you're setting up, the 1,300, which we hope will be maybe 2,000 by the end of the year.
And we also have companies abroad that are apporteurs for us. It's not only in France.
Yeah.
If you own a company in the UK, in America, wherever, and you know someone that's going to buy a property in France, you can refer.
And you can just sign them up on a database.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. And they can literally send us any buyers they want. So it's interesting. Cool. It's not only a national network, it's an international network. Okay.
So, international business as well, partnerships.
Absolutely.
I was in Holland last week.
With 𝗶𝗁𝗁𝗁.
With a network of very high-end Dutch agents, which are going to be good for us, I think. These guys only sell very high-end property across them, and we're their only partner in France, which is nice. And then we've got a few other partners now that we're establishing deals with. Isn't it strange that the international buyers now are so diversified? I've never seen it like it before. All of a sudden, we're getting people from literally every corner of the globe. Yeah. It's quite odd. I mean, it used to be just Brits, Belgians, the odd German, a few Swiss. But now you've got clients coming from all over the place. Latin America, the States, Canada. They're coming from like...
So we have a new partner. Obviously, we have partnerships with over 250 companies all around the world. So we have partners bringing us... Same as an apporteur, but on a more professional level, they're partner agencies. But we have one in Dubai at the moment bringing us quite a lot of buyers. We've got some in Australia, in America. So we're really getting a network all around the globe, bringing us all different types of buyers.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, since I started, it's completely changed. I must admit now, I look sometimes on the sales bulletins and I think, well, crikey, the nationality of the buyer. And you've got like a Romanian buyer, you've got...
I saw a Georgian one not long ago.
Yeah, a Bulgarian buyer as well. I think we had last week. From Bulgaria, I think one. Turkish buyers in the Alps recently.
Because originally the business was very centred on the UK market.
It was.
Yeah, and now we've developed it into the French market as well.
But I think the world's a different place as well, isn't it?
It's more connected.
It's much more connected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, it's fascinating. And knowing where it's going to go. I mean, the Chinese generally don't buy residential property. They tend to buy businesses or business-related. I think they have to. It's the only way they can get the money out. They like
the vineyards.
They don't really like them anymore. They had a burst on vineyards, and I think they got their fingers burnt a bit. And, of course, during the period they did that, they pushed the prices up because they were paying sometimes a bit over the top.
Yeah.
It pushed the price of vineyards up. That seems to have come back down again. And the Bordeaux region at the moment, in the vineyards at least, I know that the wine business isn't at its peak, to say the least. But the cognac business is still very, very strong, which I think probably isn't going to last. I don't think, because I think the prices are way too high. And that was because of the lack of it. And then they've allowed them to plant a lot more vines as well. So I know that they allowed them to, because they do. I remember when I first went to France, they originally, we're going off track here, but I remember them like paying people to pull vines up.
Yeah, I did that as a kid. I remember going around and picking up all the vines and the raisins.
No, I don't mean picking them up. I mean digging them up.
Oh, digging them up. Okay.
Yeah, they used to get what's called the prime de rachage.
Okay.
So the prime de rachage was like a bonus for ripping up your vineyards. So they go with diggers and dig all the roots.
Okay.
And they get like $6,000 a hectare.
That's not bad.
To rip it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now they're like worth $100,000 a hectare.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to stay that way, but that's currently what the price is. But the Chinese, going back to the Chinese, they haven't been around for a while. So if they're coming back, it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Of course, we've got no Russian buyers, needless to say.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a bit complicated at the moment.
Yeah. And we'd obviously had a burst of Ukrainian buyers dotted around the place, popping their heads up everywhere. And
so, what would you say is the newest kind of buyer?
Well, I mean, Belgium and Holland are the strongest international buyers at the moment.
Well, I've got a lot of them around. Well, we're in the door, don't we? There's a lot of them around here. That's for sure.
God, yeah. I mean, there would have been just as many Brits probably hadn't moved for Brexit, but there you go. That hasn't helped.
Absolutely.
No, I mean, the partnership network, I mean, the Porter the partnership network, it used to be a third of our business, and then it sort of dropped off. And it's funny to see how it's now coming back. Yeah.
What's interesting is we've also got our partners in France, which is mainly agencies where we share the mandates. Then internationally, it's more they're bringing us.
Well, that's where we act as a search agent. So we'll do what we call a mandat de recherche, just so everybody knows what it is. And a mandat de recherche means we can then go and hunt for property as a property finder. Instead of being the selling agent, we become the buying agent. And then we can approach all the other agents. And that's where then you do the partnership deals and sign the contracts with the partner agents so that we can then present their properties to
especially for Americans and people abroad that aren't in the country.
Well, Americans are used to working like that. Americans have their agent, they have their realtor. So they're used to having their family realtor who does everything for them, and then they will go through the MLS and see whatever, because everything is shared.
Yeah, the people abroad that can't come round and look at all the properties, it's nice having one point of contact, one person that they can trust and go and see the property and work with, instead of working with all these different agents.
That's a business model, funnily enough, that works better in this market, because when the market slows down a bit, it gives people the time to go hunting for a client with a mandat de recherche. The problem, of course, is when the market's on fire, which it has been for the last few years, properties sold before the search agent can get to it, because the listing agents found it so easy to sell it himself.
Well, put the property on the market.
Why would he share the commission?
Yeah, property's on the market, it goes in 2 days.
So in this market, I think having a search agent is a useful...
Well, I've noticed the amount of properties we're sharing has gone up significantly, which is quite interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's because also don't forget French agents are struggling with their French market to sell things, as I said to you before.
We've got the international market, they haven't.
And that's our strength, again, where it works both ways, always. We've got this fortunate position to be in the middle. So that, when the market goes one way or the other, we can either, trade one way or the other.
Change our marketing towards a more international or French basis.
And it seems to be going in our favour. So, and the market's picked up in the last couple of months.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's slow, it's a tiny bit, it's a tiny little bit of light.
Step by step.
But it's definitely picking up. It was so bad earlier in the year that it had to pick up. But I can think things are improving without a doubt.
Absolutely.
I think next year is going to be steady. I don't think it's going to set the world on fire, to be honest. I think it will be a good, steady year. It's the best. I think if we got that, we'd be happy. But I do think it'll pick up in the middle of 25. I think, spring 25 we'll start to see, providing there's no more diabolical...
hopefully China and Taiwan don't.
Hopefully there's no other major
It'd be nice if Ukraine and Russia could stop as well.
Well, you never know. Donald Trump might sort that out.
Perhaps. If he comes back in power.
He will.
There's a chance, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, just to resume, anyone can be an intermediary for Leggett & �𝗿𝗄. Anyone can actually introduce either a potential buyer or vendor to us and get a commission.
Yeah, all they need to do is send us a name, surname, phone number, and then you just tell us, and we can, if their sale completes, they get €1,000 on average.
On average. Okay, cool. So, our porter, 𝗵𝗵𝗄𝑟𝑇𝑒URS @leggett.fr.
Absolutely. Send me an email. Call me if you want. We'll get a contract sorted.
All right, brilliant. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
Cheers.